So while Hillary's figuring out the video, I'm Carol Kent from Richmond Elementary School. I'm the food service manager. And with me we have David Horner, who's our food service director for the district. Hillary is our paid farm to school coordinator. And Amy Beckwith is actually the school nurse at Jericho Elementary School. And she's with us because one of our goals for the year was to try and start making more connections with our other schools in the district. And Amy and I, our programs have been starting to blend and weave some things together. Are we all set?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to jump in there?
All right, sure. So something that we've been especially successful at doing over the past several years is fundraising. And this is just pretty much a list of all of the fundraising events we hold throughout the year. And this year we were able to raise over $8,000. A big chunk of that is the dinner at the farm benefit, and our school partnered with Jericho Settlers Farm, which is just right up the road, and held, I don't know if you want to describe the dinner. I didn't get to go, but Carol was there. She'll tell you a little bit about it.
We're really blessed to have some incredible chefs as parents of kids in our school, and Doug Payne is the executive chef for Hotel Vermont, and he was very gracious, and Hotel Vermont was very gracious to partner with us, putting on a farm dinner at Jericho Settlers Farm. Very well attended, and that was a major fundraiser for us to cover the cost of having a farm to school coordinator. And they're excited to continue that with us. We had a lot of volunteer sweat and labor into it. It wasn't, just an easy thing, but it was a really, really great fundraiser.
And the other fundraiser that provided a lot of cash to the program was our Harvest Festival, and this year was our 5th annual Harvest Festival, and it's grown over the years. It started out at the elementary school, and now we are able to use the Monitor Barn right in Richmond, and they save a day in the fall for us to use the barn free of charge, which is really wonderful. But we have a deep relationship with the farm too at VYCC. So a lot of times we'll get produce from them at a reduced cost or for free, and they're strong supporters of the program. So we're lucky to have that relationship and connection. And then other little things here and there, spaghetti dinner, where we provide a farm to school dinner for folks coming for the open house. That's a big success. And a new fundraiser we did this year were fall harvest bundles, and then we did spring harvest bundles as well, and we partnered with Jericho Settlers Farm, and they basically put together a one-time CSA bundle of vegetables, and we sold them for $50, and we were, I guess they charged us maybe $28 a bundle, so it was a pretty nice profit we were able to make. And not only did it include the school community, but community members were coming to the school to pick up their bundles, so they were learning a lot about our program and supporting our program, whether or not they had kids in the school, which was great. You can go to the next slide. So you're probably wondering what we spend all that money on. So I'll let Carol talk a little bit about our local food purchases.
Because of the generosity of our farm partners and our volunteers and all the people who work so hard to raise the money for our program, all of the local food that we purchase at our school is from the fundraising. It's supported from the fundraising. It does not come out of our food service budget. We have had grass-fed ground beef all year. We've had local produce in our walk-in refrigerator and on our salad bar the entire school year. We've been purchasing local eggs right along from 2 farms. The Misty Knoll chicken, local dairy, local apples all year round. Cider, we serve cider as a fruit, make cider slushies as the fruit of the day quite often, and the kids go crazy over that. We did a smoothie program this year. We started last year. We got a smoothie grant, and so the amount of local yogurt we've been using has just gone through the roof. We went from 65 breakfasts to 165 breakfasts every Thursday, serving smoothies and a whole grain product. So that's been a great boon to our local dairy consumption. What else? Yeah, so it's been, our salad bar is amazing and contains local produce constantly, and we had kids begging for kale chips. We have kids, whatever, I've forgotten the name of the little cauliflower, the Romanesco, yeah, just escaped me. They went crazy over Romanesco and pickled beets and pickled kale stems and so on and so forth.
Great. So it seems like a common challenge is buy-in from classroom teachers, so we decided we would give them money. And so we said every classroom gets $100 towards a field trip that connects farm to school. So a week after that announcement, we had applications coming in. So every class, with the exception of third grade, took advantage of that. Our kindergartners, through the Farmer Correspondence Program, went to Far Farm. We made ice cream. When they got back as a connection, Farm to School bought 4 ice cream makers, hand crank, which were really great. First grade just got back, a couple weeks ago, planted at Jericho Settlers Farm, and then they'll go back as second graders in the fall and harvest there. And this past year, the second grade went and harvested sweet potatoes, and then sweet potatoes were featured on the menu, I think it was October or November, I can't remember. But we had a month long of sweet potatoes were, used throughout the month. Let's see, so second grade went to Jericho Settlers, and then fourth grade had a couple of trips. They went to Slopeside Syrup in Richmond for the governor's annual tree tapping, and then to the Audubon Center to culminate their studies of maple sugaring. So I think you can go right to the next, yeah, perfect. Yeah, and another challenge was how do we increase communication? So we started our blog this year, and it's been really successful. We'd like to see a few more followers, but it's a great start. So on it, we feature all of our monthly taste tests and all sorts of other things that are going on farm to school, the smoothie day, when kids, if we have a taste test that the kids are especially excited about, they'll be asking for the recipes. So we'll say, go to the farm to school blog, it's right on there, this is how you get to it. So kids will be coming up, actually, someone went up to Carol and was like, you told me you were gonna post that black bean brownie recipe or the black bean cookies. So they remember and they want the recipes. So we made sure to put that on there, and so that's been really successful. Yeah, we keep going. Yeah, next one. And our taste tests, we've had taste tests for the past several years, and I'm pretty proud to say that we've had them every month consistently. We are part of the Harvest of the Month program through Green Mountain Farm to School, and some months we deviated from the Harvest of the Month. We had one taste test that included Midnight Farm goat cheese, and that was and Grafton Village cheddar, and it was really cool because at the end of the taste test, maybe a week later, a little boy was like, "Where exactly did that goat cheese come from?" He's like, "I went to the store and we just bought any old goat cheese, but where was that goat cheese from?" Yeah, and the farmer sent pictures of the baby goats, and those were posted on the blog, and it was a really nice connection. And then our final taste test was deviled eggs from Maple Wind Farm, which, it was really interesting. We had a lot of brave kids tasting those deviled eggs. I told them the trick is a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow. And one other challenge that we had was our garden, where our campus is the elementary school and the middle school, and the community garden is on the middle school campus, so it's hard to get there. So one thing we did this year was to bring the gardens to the kindergartners, and we planted 5 census gardens that were in little milk crates, did some milk crate gardening, so that was a success. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. And just another way to connect was connecting with the after-school program. So we did farm to after-school and enrichment program that got the kids in the kitchen cooking, when that seems to be one of the bigger challenges, is getting the cooking cart into classrooms. So we did it after school, which was great. So I think we are out of time. If you want to just play that, we have some pictures, but it's a slideshow. So if you have questions, you can ask them now.
So you guys have a couple minutes for questions? A couple questions?
How do we get to the blog?
How do you get to the blog?
I'll give you the website. It's Fresh Ideas at res@blogspot.com. Yeah.
Should I see Bubble and Squeak? Are you making sauerkraut out of cabbage?
Bubble and Squeak is a traditional English dish made with potatoes and cabbage. And so it wasn't a fermented sauerkraut, but it was just the Bubble and Squeak dish, which they loved. Anybody else? Yes?
So as you're thinking about working with other schools, is the idea that the farm school coordinator position will also support those other schools, or that each school will have their own coordinator?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Our district is going through some major transitions with this merger that's happening. There are a lot of challenges, and there are a lot of opportunities. And I think one of the biggest opportunities that we all see is to expand farm to school and build on what we've been able to do at Richmond, Brewster Pierce School with Allison Forrest. Many of you know Allison. They've got a really strong program. Jericho Elementary is going full strength. They had an implementation grant. Amy, you can come on up here. You don't have to talk. But Amy's school has been doing great things, and we are excited to be sharing information, and we're hoping that this is just going to keep growing. And one of the things we are talking about is, as a district, is funding a position, a farm to school coordinator position that will cover immediately maybe 3 schools, and then perhaps grow bigger than that. Do you have anything you want to share?
As you all know, it's hard when you have other roles. I'm the school nurse. So we have managed to do a lot, and we have about 10 people on the committee, staff members, parents, our principal, we're lucky, and our food service coordinator. But everyone has another main role, so everyone's trying to do a little bit, and the coordinator position, as you all know, would be really helpful.
Yes.
I was just wondering, with the fundraising, did you have to establish a nonprofit to keep the money separate from the school food fund?
Our financial people at central office set up a separate line for farm to school. So it is held at central office, and we have to submit requisitions and so on to have invoices paid from farm to school. So it's a whole bunch of code numbers for various things. It's not an easy system, but it's what we have to do. Anybody else? Great. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.